My child, do not scroll away, not yet, because what I am about to tell you is something your heart has been waiting to hear for a very long time. You have asked me this same question over and over again. Jesus, why is it taking so long? Why hasn't my prayer been answered? Why does it seem like everyone else is moving forward while I remain in the same place? Have you forgotten about me, my child? Look at me. Listen to my voice. I have never forgotten you. Not for one moment. Every tear you cried, I saw it. Every prayer you whispered, I heard it. Every lonely night, I was there beside you. Even when you could not feel my presence. Even when heaven seemed silent. Even when nothing around you appeared to change. I was working. My child, the waiting has not been punishment. The waiting has been preparation. Because there are blessings too precious to rush. There are miracles too important to arrive before the right time. There are doors that cannot open until you are ready to walk through them. You have called it delay. I have called it preparation. You have called it silence. I have called it protection. You have called it disappointment. I have called it direction. Because I see what you cannot see. I know what tomorrow holds. I know which opportunities will bless you. And I know which opportunities would have broken you. That is why I sometimes close doors that you desperately wanted opened. Not because I wanted to hurt you, but because I wanted to protect you. My child, there were moments when you almost gave up. Moments when you wanted to stop praying. Moments when you wondered if faith was even worth it anymore. Yet somehow, you kept believing, even if your faith became as small as a mustard seed. You kept holding on, and today, I want to tell you something. The delay is over, not because of your timing, but because my timing is perfect. My child, do not misunderstand me. This does not mean every problem disappears overnight. It does not mean life suddenly becomes effortless. But it does mean that the season you have been trapped in is not your final destination. The chapter of waiting will not last forever. The chapter of uncertainty will not last forever. The chapter of tears will not last forever. Because I am the author of your story. And I know how the story ends. It ends with hope. It ends with purpose. It ends with my faithfulness. My child, some of you have been praying for restoration. Some have been praying for healing. Some have been praying for financial breakthrough. Some have been praying for peace. Some have been praying for direction. I know every one of those prayers. Not one has been ignored. Not one has been forgotten. The answer may not always arrive the way you imagined, but my answer is always filled with wisdom, always filled with love, always filled with purpose. My child, the enemy wanted you to believe your delay meant denial, but I tell you, delay is not denial. Delay is often preparation for something greater than you imagined. Because when my blessing arrives, no person will be able to take the credit. Everyone will know. Only God could have done this. My child, lift your head. Lift your eyes. Lift your expectations. Stop looking at what has not happened. Start looking at who is standing beside you. Because I am still here. Still leading you. Still loving you. Still opening doors, still preparing miracles, still writing your testimony. The delay is over, and your faith is about to become stronger than your fear. So do not quit now. Do not stop believing now, because some of your greatest blessings are much closer than you realize. If you believe Jesus is bringing you into a new season, comment, Jesus, I believe my Washington ITING is over. My child, There is something I have wanted to tell you for a long time. You have been asking me why you had to wait, why others seemed to move ahead while you remained in the same place, why your prayers appeared unanswered, why the breakthrough never came when you expected it. Today, I will tell you why. Because I was preparing you for something your current version of yourself could not yet carry. My child, think about a farmer. He plants the seed, then he waits, not because nothing is happening, but because everything important is happening beneath the surface. The roots are growing, strength is developing, life is forming, even though nobody can see it. Your life has been exactly the same. While you thought nothing was happening, I was growing roots that nobody could see. I was building your faith, strengthening your character, teaching you patience, preparing your heart, removing pride, replacing fear with trust. Because the blessing I have prepared for you requires a stronger version of you. My child, if I had answered your prayer 1 year ago, you might have lost the blessing. If I had opened the door too early, you might have walked away from me. If I had given you everything immediately, you might have trusted the blessing more than the one who gave it. That is why my timing matters. My timing protects you. My timing prepares you. My timing positions you. And my timing is never late. My child, I know you became discouraged. I know you cried in private. I know you smiled while hiding your pain. I know there were nights when you whispered, "Jesus, are you still listening?" And every single time, my answer was yes. I was listening. I was working. I was arranging people, opening the right doors, closing the wrong ones, protecting you from opportunities that looked good but would have destroyed your peace. Because I love you too much to give you less than my best. My child, do not compare your journey with someone else's. The person beside you has a different calling, a different assignment, a different season. I am writing a different story for you. Stop looking sideways. Start looking upward. Because your help comes from me, not from people, not from luck, not from circumstances. Your breakthrough comes from God. My child, some of you are only one step away from the answer you have been praying for. One conversation, one opportunity, one act of obedience, one moment of courage, one unexpected door. Do not quit now. The enemy always wants people to give up just before the breakthrough arrives. But I tell you, keep walking, keep believing, keep praying, keep trusting, because what I have promised, I will fulfill. My child, the delay has taught you things success never could. You have learned compassion. You have learned humility. You have learned dependence on God. You have learned perseverance. Those lessons will become the foundation of the blessing that is coming. Nothing has been wasted. Not one tear, not one prayer, not one sleepless night. I will use it all for your good. My child, when people see what I am about to do in your life, they will not say, "What a lucky person." They will say, "Only God could have done this." Because I receive the glory, not men, not circumstances, not coincidence. The delay is ending, and a new season is beginning. Walk into it with faith. Walk into it with hope. Walk into it knowing that I have gone before you. Because my plans for you are still good, and my promises never fail. If you believe God has been preparing you for something greater, comment, "Jesus, I trust your perfect court timing." My child, there is something I need you to understand before you move into this next season. The greatest breakthroughs almost always come after the greatest tests. Think about it. The darkest hour comes just before sunrise. The seed remains hidden before it breaks through the soil. Gold passes through fire before it shines, and faith grows strongest when it has been tested. My child, you have asked me many times, why am I still waiting? But today I ask you another question. What if your waiting has been preparing the miracle you've been praying for? Because miracles are rarely random. They are carefully prepared by my hands. Long before you ever see them, long before you recognize them, long before anyone else notices them, I have been arranging details that only heaven could arrange. My child, you thought people rejected you, but I was redirecting you. You thought doors were closing forever, but I was protecting you from walking into the wrong room. You thought opportunities disappeared, but I was preparing opportunities that were far greater. You thought you were losing, but I was teaching you how to win. My child, never confuse temporary disappointment with permanent defeat, because defeat is not your identity. Victory is, not because of your own strength, but because I walk beside you. I have never asked you to carry tomorrow alone. I simply asked you to trust me today. One step, one prayer, one day at a time. My child, the blessing that is coming into your life is not just about you. It is about everyone who will be encouraged by your testimony. There are people who will believe in God because of what I am about to do for you. There are families that will regain hope because they hear your story. There are broken hearts that will be healed because they realize if God did it for you, He can do it for them. That is why your testimony matters. That is why your waiting matters. That is why your faith matters. My child, do not allow bitterness to enter your heart while you're waiting, because bitterness blocks gratitude, and gratitude prepares the heart for greater blessings. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "Jesus, what are you teaching me?" Instead of saying, "Nothing is happening," say, "God is working even when I cannot see it." Instead of expecting disappointment, expect my goodness, because my goodness has followed you all your life, even in seasons when you couldn't recognize it. My child, some of you are standing at the edge of a new beginning. You cannot see it yet, but I can. A new opportunity, a restored relationship, a financial breakthrough, a healed heart, a stronger faith, a fresh purpose. Everything you have experienced has been leading to this moment. Nothing has been wasted. Not one prayer, not one tear, not one lesson. I will use every part of your story for my glory. My child, the enemy wanted your delay to become your prison, but I am turning it into your testimony. People will one day ask, "How did you make it through?" And your answer will be simple. Jesus never left me. My child, lift your head, lift your faith, lift your expectations, because the season of waiting is ending, and the season of walking in confidence is beginning. Trust me, stay close to me, keep praying, keep believing, because I am about to do more than you have dared to imagine. If you believe God is turning your delay into a testimony, comment, "Jesus, my Washington ITING will be me my testimony." My child, if you have stayed with me until this moment, I believe it is because your heart was searching for hope, not temporary hope, not hope that depends on circumstances, but hope that comes from God. And now, before this message ends, there is one final thing I need to tell you. The delay is truly over, not because life will suddenly become perfect, not because you will never face another challenge, but because you are no longer the same person who entered the waiting season. You have grown, You have matured. You have learned to trust me when nothing made sense. You have learned to pray when you couldn't see results. You have learned to believe when doubts surrounded you. And because of that, you are ready. My child, do you remember all the nights you cried yourself to sleep? I do. Do you remember the prayers nobody else heard? I do. Do you remember asking, Jesus, where are you? I was sitting beside you every single time, holding you together when you felt like falling apart, strengthening you when you felt weak, comforting you when nobody else understood your pain. You never walked alone, not for 1 second. My child, there were blessings I protected you from. There were relationships I removed because they would have destroyed your future. There were doors I closed because something greater was waiting ahead. One day, you will thank me for every prayer I didn't answer, because you will finally understand. I wasn't rejecting you. I was protecting you. My child, the chapter of waiting has shaped you, but it will not define you. The chapter of pain has strengthened you, but it will not become your identity. The chapter of uncertainty has prepared you, but it is not the end of your story, because I am writing a new chapter, a chapter filled with purpose, a chapter filled with peace, a chapter filled with restoration, a chapter filled with my faithfulness. My child, do not walk into tomorrow carrying yesterday's disappointment. Walk into tomorrow carrying my promises. Remember, I am already waiting for you there. I have already gone before you. I am preparing the people you need to meet, the opportunities you need to discover, the doors you need to walk through, the miracles you have been praying for. Even now, while you are listening to my voice, I'm working. My child, the enemy wanted your waiting season to convince you that you were forgotten. But instead, your waiting season will become the greatest testimony of your life. People will ask, how did you keep believing? And you will answer, because Jesus never stopped being faithful. People will ask, how did you survive? And you will answer, because Jesus carried me. People will ask, how did everything change? And your answer will be simple. God's timing was perfect. My child, never stop believing, never stop praying, never stop trusting, because I always finish what I begin. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the author and the finisher of your faith. What I started in your life, I will complete. What I promised, I will fulfill. What I have prepared, no one can take away. So lift your head, lift your eyes, lift your faith, because your greatest testimony may be closer than you think. The delay is over. The waiting is ending. The new season is here. Walk into it with confidence. Walk into it with peace. Walk into it knowing, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And I will love you forever. If you believe Jesus is leading you into a new season, comment, Jesus, my Washington ITING is over. And if you're ready to receive God's perfect timing, comment, Lord, I receive my Northeast WCs. May the Lord bless you, strengthen your faith, restore your hope, and lead you into every blessing He has prepared for you. Amen.